welcome to another episode of A Man's Journey on our photography segment. Today you're here with me, Tshepo.
And me, Mo. We're going to talk everything photography. We got our facilitator today to actually discuss on how to even utilize your phone, camera, what is needed for business in the photography, turning into a hobby into a business.
Yeah. Natasha, thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, and yourself.
So Natasha, to those who don't know who Natasha is, please tell us a bit more about yourself.
Alright, so I'm Natasha Hein. I am a storyteller by profession, so any kind of stories written, stories in terms of, writing a quick mock-up of an event, of something that happened to someone, or assisting someone with a biography. And then I also do radio, so I am part of a breakfast show at the local radio station. Should I say the radio station's name? No, that's a bit free publicity. Yes, so I am one of the content producers as well as the presenters of that show between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. on a weekly basis. And then I am a facilitator at the Westbury Youth Centre. So I am part of a team that facilitates a program called Media Lab. So we basically give students interested in media an introduction into the media sphere. Not that we qualified, we are all self-taught, so yeah.
So what has actually pushed you into that direction?
Photography,
media as a whole, because if I look at media as a whole, it's art, it's production, because when we look at that space, it's very broad.
Yeah.
So if I have to say in media, what has pushed you into that direction?
I think I've always had a love for media, but I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of person. I like seeing everything come together. So me sitting here with you guys is totally different for me. I'm actually freaking out right now. It's okay. So I grew up watching programs like Top Billing and The Taste of the Good Life. And I always believe that in order for you to have a taste of the good life, you need to be part of some great production. Some form of media, and that is the only way out for me personally, because I'm all about storytelling, as I said. I love the opportunity of sitting down with someone, listening to their life story, or even just browsing through a magazine, seeing somebody telling their story. So stories are very important.
No, definitely. I can actually attest to that. This is actually me being in front of cameras too. Tshepo knows I'm not a person to be out there. I've never been out there, being the guy behind the scenes, the marketing guy, the digital guy, the guy with ideas, storytelling, and photography is a storytelling episode, basically.
Photography is a storytelling in its own.
Yeah, so that is why we decided to do a segment to show people the different type of photography. So tell us all about photography.
Photography for me, I think everyone has their own definition of photography. I think as a creative person, the interesting part is you define everything the way you understand it. So I would define photography as a tool in which you tell a story. I know there's some great photographers who literally have that power to basically just capture everything in true essence in one picture. Like say for instance a normal family braai. I know you being international, you're a little bit must know a barbecue. where you usually see family coming together, and there you see the uncle playing with the niece on his shoulder, or the kids just rambling on around the house, going on about something, and you being able to be there to witness it, not only in being part of it, but capturing that moment. So I would say photography, in a nutshell for me, is just giving everyone an opportunity to look into your world.
Okay, nice. And jumping straight into photography, what actually inspired you to become a facilitator in photography?
Okay, so like I said, I'm not qualified. I am self-taught, so I think it was very important for me coming from Westbury. You know, people always have this narrative of colored people don't give back. They don't know how to work together, and I was like, I don't like stereotypes. I don't like being placed into a box. So I found out about the then program, and I was part of the photography classes then, and then I decided, okay, actually an opportunity came up for me where I could partner up with, I think you guys met Elsinio already.
Yes.
So I partnered up with Elsinio and Martin, and they were basically the facilitators at that time. So I was basically just shadowing them. And then straight after that, they decided, okay, no, we think you're really good in certain things, so we'd like you to be added to the team. And that is basically how I was then granted the opportunity of transferring my skills to anyone wanting those skills. Because I think you have to want the skills.
Yeah, true.
Because sometimes there's all these things being offered, but you actually need to show interest that, okay, I want to be part of it, and that's where the magic happens.
No, definitely. Later on, I know that you will show me how to use a camera.
No.
I can dress the part, as you can see. I'm the model normally. So we just to show us the basics of a camera for the people who doesn't know, and what is the different types, because a lot of people don't understand the difference between megapixels and whatever else. I'm not a photographer, so I wouldn't know what is the best camera, what is the best angles, what lighting, so that people can understand. Like, you know, you get these people at home today, they use their phone to take a picture, but it never comes out the way they expect it to be. Make me look thin. So those are the things that I know that you will show us a bit, not into detail. Yeah, but just a bit, so at least we can understand what a camera is.
For those who actually, because a lot of people think that you need a digital camera to be able to take pictures or proper pictures. Nowadays there's a thing coming up, phone photography.
Yeah.
Can you please just give us a bit into detail of the difference between phone photography as well as digital camera photography?
Awesome. So I think first things first, it would depend, once again, like I said, I'm a storyteller, so it would depend on the story. So say for instance, it is event photography. You definitely need like a DSLR for event photography, based on like most clients just having this vision of what a photographer is. Because if I rock up there with my phone, they're gonna be like, she's not serious, you know. And it would definitely depend on the story. Say for instance, you're an influencer. It would be totally fine for you to rock up there with your iPhone and, you know, get all your followers, you know, stream live and whatnot. And I would say that it depends on the story you want to tell. Second, I would say the difference between the two is obviously costing. A DSLR is more expensive than an iPhone. An iPhone is also very expensive. I know that's why some have Huawei and Samsung. But I would say in terms of cost, that's also a difference between the two. And then I just think in terms of competency, like say for instance, you really want to get a bigger picture of the story, you would then prefer a DSLR in comparison with an iPhone, because you can actually change you can change your lenses to basically fit the story that you want to tell. Say for instance, you're a journalist, you would literally want to take pictures of the entire street with the people and everything, therefore you would use like a wide lens. But if it's a cell phone and you really want to do something journalistic with that, you're actually going to focus more on the detail of that story. So there's a lot of, I would say, differences in terms of DSLR versus cell phone photography, but many people believe I was actually reading an article by one of the photographers where he was saying, like, if you asked him this question back then, it would have been easy for him to answer it, because you would look at the quality of the picture and you would immediately click and say this was taken with like a digital camera. Whereas if you take a picture now, you like a real photographer, and I'm not a real photographer.
Stop saying that. You would
look at the picture, right? And say for instance you're taking a picture of that bowl over there, you would look at the detail of the picture, say the color, and with like a digital camera you'll be able to see like the exact color. But with a phone, you know, there's all these filters and whatnot. It kind of takes away from the beauty of that photograph, for me personally.
Okay, nice. I just want to ask, you know, especially with, you did mention cost in terms of phones and cameras. Now, for someone who's starting out, jumping into lighting, for someone who's starting out, what tips and tricks would you be able to give them that would be cost effective for them to start maybe their own home studio, for example?
Okay, I would firstly say Google is your friend. Literally find anything on the internet, but I think starting out for me, I really love product photography, food photography, so I use like fairy lights. There was a time where I used to go to the cinema a lot, so I got like a small torch. And then, say for instance, I did an extra light. You would see me with the torch over here and the camera over here. So I just think finding DIY tips and tricks online best suited for what it is that you want the audience or the reader to receive from you would then work effectively for you. So say for instance, you're taking a picture, say you're a food blogger, and you want to take a beautiful picture of a beautiful plate of food, you're obviously going to look for the best lighting in the house. So say for instance the kitchen, you can also compose it most the best luck, because you see the sun is dropping in at any time, so that would be the perfect way. And then say for instance you look for something that can then take in all that light. Say for instance you then assess the background, if it's going to be like an entire table that you're taking, or say for instance it is the ingredients, your produce that you're going to literally capture in that moment. Then you'd obviously think, okay, do I need this amount of light? And then you'd obviously also try to get some of that light out if it's too much. So my tip would be Google is your friend. Fake it till you make it and then perfect it.
So like you say, background is very important then. That's in short your background and your determination to get it to where you want it, because you see it through your eyes. So please, I know I would like you to show me a bit about a camera and people, so that people can understand what the difference is between, like you said, digital and the phone camera. Will you be able to show us just a little bit?
No.
Serious? Why not?
I'm joking. What would you do?
I'm like, it was like so. I was like dead now. I was like, where am I going? Nah, but yeah, please, if you don't mind, just showing us a few tricks and tricks for a phone and for a camera, for our viewers out there, so they can at least.
Do we have props?
Yeah, no, we do. We'll show you.
Alright, generally before I start taking any pictures using a cell phone, I would then decide on what it is that I want to capture. So I'm always looking at the details of the products. Like I said, I love product photography. So say for instance, I really wanted to get a picture of the clown on the bowl. I would then try to get it as close as possible. So say for instance I'd get it at the angle that I want it to be at, and then I'd obviously go to the settings. So say for instance let's try out Pro. Okay, as you can see, the lighting is not the way the lighting for me personally is not how I really want it. So I then go back, and then I'd basically just try to get the camera to focus on the clown, and then I generally just take the picture. As you can see, I also take into context the background. As you can see, it's red as well, and the clown's nose is red as well. We actually try to put it closer to the light, but because it created a shadow, we actually needed to move the bowl. So yeah. Okay, maybe for this we can look at the inside, right? Okay. Are you ready? Guys, I don't do the same. Oh, my heart is pounding. Okay. Ready when you are, Tshepo, okay? Alright, so this is actually a good camera to get when you're literally starting out. You can get it at most of your camera stores. I would also suggest that, say for instance you're starting, maybe try a second-hand like camera store where you can then buy it and then experiment, try it out, and then decide, okay, if you're going to go big or literally go home in terms of your camera. Alright, so we'll then focus in this segment on the detail within the bowl. So I would then look at what it is that I want you to see. So we then go closer. We would basically start from the outside, basically go closer, closer, and closer. And then I would literally like you to think that this could be anything. It could be a placemat, it could be a painting on the table, or a painting hanging on the wall, when in actual sense it is actually a bowl. So I'm just gonna go really close and then focus on it. As soon as it shows you the green, basically the green box, it means it's time to go, right? So let me get a picture of that. There you go. So just depending on what it is that you'd like to show, or the story that you'd like to tell. Like I said, I love details, so let's maybe focus on the flower on the side. There's a bit of a shadow because everyone's literally crowding me right now, but
because we're interesting, man.
but yeah, so yeah,
actually manipulate people what you want to show them.
Definitely. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for that, Natasha.
Yep.
But they call you Tasha.
Yes.
Yeah, now when you're from the wood, they call you a nickname, never by your name. Thank you for your time. Any last words or motivation for our youth out there? You know, like you mentioned before, the stereotype of coming from Westbury. So how can we change that mindset for the youth?
I think I always, like, I'm literally always on the internet. So I was watching a video by a fellow photographer where she was basically sharing her story, and to an extent where it made her emotional, because as a woman of color in the photography business, it's very, very difficult for you to get clients. You know, clients just based on your great impeccable work, for instance, and not just someone referring you to, say for instance, Tshepo refers myself to you. Whereas I would definitely be on the internet perhaps and then see your work, and your work would speak for itself. It wouldn't matter the color of your skin. It would matter that, okay, this is the caliber of work that you put out there, and I'd really love for you to work with me. So I would then say, don't be afraid to go after what it is that you want, whether it's in the media sphere, whether it's literally, I know we're celebrating our doctors and our nurses right now, so just whatever field you're in, literally just going after what it is that you want. And there's a quote that I literally live by, that, and that is adapt or die. Where it's either you're going to adapt to what is happening, or you're literally going to allow it to kill you. And as a result, you're going to die with all your dreams, all your potential, and people will remember you as, oh no, he was great in that, she was great in that, but they died with all their potential. So just just adapt or die. Literally, that is what I would say. It's either you're going to adapt to what's happening right now, or you're going to die with all your potential. And we don't want to drive past one of the cemeteries and be like, dale say.
True. Thank you very much for joining us today, Tasha. We really do appreciate it. Hopefully the message that you put out today will be able to inspire someone as well, adapt or die. And also the photography itself, hopefully it will be able to inspire someone to take up their passion and do something about it. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Alright, sorry, just before you end, with regards, just going back to photography, it can be a very, very lucrative business for you, because if you think about it, everything is digital right now. So being a photographer now is the best time to be alive, because people are always looking for influencers, people are always looking for young people especially to market their products and their services. So if you are that person hoping to break into the industry, start out small. So for instance, you know that you love like a particular brand, find a creative way of actually looking at that brand and then shed light on that, and that could then create an opportunity for you to then not only market your skills, but possibly market the fact that you're really good at what it is that you do, and then get someone to actually pay you for what it is that you do. So photography all the way. Aluta.
Thank you very much. Thank you for allowing us in your space. I know you said it's out of your comfort zone. So we, on a Man's Journey photography segment, would like to thank Natasha for her time. Your socials, where can people get hold of you if they want to get hold of you or want to follow you?
Awesome stuff. So I am on Facebook, Natasha Hein. I am on Instagram, Natasha_Hein. I am on Twitter, Natasha_Hein. And I have my own WordPress account, which I haven't updated this year. But yeah, Natasha's anything and everything. Hopefully you'll find anything from radio to written pieces that can be of inspiration to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us today on our show. Photography segment, A Man's Journey. Please do stay tuned for more episodes that are coming soon. No? Anything from you?
Thank you very much. Subscribe to our channel, Community Media Development, link below, like, and follow us on our socials. So, thank you very much for your time. I'm Mo.
And I'm Tshepo. Thank you for joining us.